What is up guys, me Joe Mindstone here, and in today's video we're going to be doing a tour of my Minecraft data center. So first, to get started, this data center was currently actually started construction in the first month of 2022. So this data center has actually been overall about a year's worth of work on and off, because of work and life and all that sort of fun stuff. So on and off, all in all, probably about a year, and it's still under construction. Actually, you'll see there's still an area that is still under construction, still working on. So the first thing with any good data center, it needs to be able to have good connectivity to the outside world. So this one here has 32 channels coming out of it on that side there, as you can see. It's also got high voltage electricity, so that allows you to have power and data connected to the outside world. So as you can see here, I've just got a quarry set up, which is finished. It's dug down all the way to bedrock. And I've also got a pumping station right here. As you can see, it is pumping water. So the first thing you'll notice with this data center actually is that it's water based, so there's no connection to the outside land, as you can see. If I do a quick fly around, you see it's not connected anywhere, it's just all entirely floating on the water, which makes the security on this data center actually really well, because you can only get to it by boat, as you can see. So coming on to the data center, you can see you've got a 3-block security gap here, so just make sure it's nice and secure. It's got a bit of expansion room as well, not that you need to do it in this massive place, so you can see like the sheer size of it. So let's go through the door and I can begin the tour. So the first room here, which is to your right, is the auto-crafting room. So you see you've got your main 3 big auto-crafting nodes here, and you've got lots of little ones here, along with your molecular assemblers and interfaces. You also have auto-smelting, which is here. Another side note with this data center is that it actually produces pollution. So that's what this bit here is for. So these furnaces will produce exhaust gases, so they'll produce carbon and sulfur. They'll be exhausted out here, come up these stairs and exhausted off into the atmosphere. Same with the Tinker's construct furnace here, as you can see, that goes up and out and into the air. So back inside the data center now, we're now going to go to the storage room. So this here is where the main storage is in the data center. This here, at the worst possible case, will store 2.8 billion items, so it's a fair few. You don't really have to worry about running out of storage anytime soon. So this front row here is for your liquids, and then the rest of it is all purely items. Onto the client terminals now. So the main thing with this data center is that it's going to be a shared data center, so all the items will be pulled together, as you can see. And then obviously people are going to want their privacy, they're going to want their own little miniature data center essentially. So this here is a client terminal, which allows you to rent them out essentially. And yeah, you've got 2 main types. So here's the first type, it's a very basic one. You've got your wireless terminal here, as you can see, and you've got plenty of storage. As you can see, you get a 64K storage cell just given to you straight away with your own security terminal. So yeah, this data center has 8 of them. Onto your second type of terminal. So this is your tier 2 storage. If I turn this system on, you can see this has its own auto-crafting. It's got a lot more storage. It's got quantum link chambers as well, so you can get the communication to this network wherever you want across all dimensions. Next is onto the power generation. So this here is what I like to call the reactor control room. So this here only has the basic controls for these 2 reactors. So this one here on my left is a lot smaller. This here is literally just as a backup for the client terminals, so there will be no downtime for the client terminals. However, if I'm doing work on a data center, this will not power the rest of the data center. This reactor here on the right side is the main reactor, which runs the whole entire data center, all the client terminals, and as you can see, it is producing plenty of power and plenty of heat. Okay, so now on to the second floor. So this is what I like to call the utility floor. Just sheerly because all the cables and connections come down to this floor and they all go into the data center core. As you can see, that is it over there by the big mess of cables. This here is the little client terminal network. As you can see, this is its own completely separate network. All you have is the power coming in. This here is the power switch over, which I was talking to you guys about. So this here is the smaller reactor. As you can see, it's got its own power takeoff. You flip this lever and that completely cuts the contact, and its own little network there, as you can see, so it's fully self-sufficient if need be. Okay, so on to the third floor. So now this floor is fairly interesting because it has a special room in here which I like to call the dissolver network. Okay, so this is what I like to call the dissolver network. So So this network here allows you to essentially dissolve something like coal blocks into carbon and then convert that carbon into diamonds. So with this dissolver network, you've got a few main building blocks of this network. So this is its own little miniature sub-network, I guess you could call it. It's got its own storage, as you can see. It's got all the other blocks from the mod. So this here is your chemical combiner. So this here allows you to combine your chemicals. As you see, you've got carbon into charcoal. As you can see, you can go through, you can make all sorts of different materials and resources with this. So if you have some certain abundance of material that you don't really need, you can dissolve it, get the materials and all the elements from that. You can then combine them into some other resource that you actually do need. This here is actually a lot more advanced, and there will be a separate video upcoming on this, just all by itself, just trying to explain how it all operates and how it all works and how it all combines nicely into the data center. Okay, so this here is the third floor with the reactors. This here is like a no man's room, it's just the 2 reactors and a cable in the middle. And then beside that you have this room here, which is sort of like a jack of all trades room. So you've got your auto crafting. So this auto crafting is essentially what keeps some of the levels even. So this is what I like to call stock keeping auto crafting. Basically all it does is, if you look here, you have let's say you've got spruce stairs, you can just get them and do that. You see it automatically keeps a stack of spruce stairs no matter what. You also see that with wood planks and wood slabs, and that goes for all woods all across the whole board. We also have a similar setup here on the right side, which is what I like to call continuous auto crafting. So if I were to put the stairs in here, that would automatically craft all those logs into stairs until there's no wood left. So this here are the quantum link chambers. This data center has 6 quantum link chambers altogether. This is where they are located. You see each room has 3 quantum link chambers with the quantum link entangled singulators here. Then this here is the Tinker's Construct furnace. So as you can see, you've got all our moulds and casts here. You also have fluid import and export from the data center into this furnace, as you can see. And then this is also fueled off of the lava from the data center, so you don't ever have to worry about the fuel running out of this furnace. Okay, and now this is the main part we've all been waiting for. This is the main core of the data center. So as you can see, it's nice and open. This houses all the connections to the data center all into this one place. The displays are currently showing incorrect item statistics, unfortunately, but that is something we're going to work on. Okay, so this is the 4th floor, this is the top floor, this is the final floor, I guess you could call it. So this here on your right side is the reactor support. So this here is what stores all the reactor fuel and all the reactor discharge. So here, as you can see, we've got 61 million yellowing blocks. This here will last about 3 real life years. So if you had a server on 24/7, that will last about 3 years to keep the data center up and running. Obviously, I don't think I'm ever going to be running out of that anytime soon. Okay, so this here is the room that is work in progress. So as you remember, I was telling you guys about this being a work in progress. This is the room that I was talking about. So you can see on the left side, this here is the 3rd nuclear reactor of the data center with the capacitor bank. This bit here is completely finished as it powers the outside. But this room here on my right is what still is work in progress. So this here is going to be a certain subsection of the auto crafting. So right now I'm currently trying to automate the chemical combiners and chemical dissolvers, which will allow me to craft essentially any item that I need. Okay, and this is the top of the core. As you can see, it's a nice glowing cube of all sorts of colours. Over here you've got the monitors, as you can see, again displaying the wrong statistics as usual, but this here allows you to monitor certain items, and you have your main network view here. Also, a nice little feature of this data center are there are various ladders and tunnels in this data center just to make certain little trips a little bit easier. For example, this one here, you can see I can get straight into this room, and then I can go down here straight into the dissolver network room, just to make the trip a little bit more efficient instead of having to go all the way to the back of the data center, up and around. Now this here is what I like to call the operators rooms. So this here is where anyone staying at the data center will be living. So there'll be 2 full-time staff on site. So the first one is obviously me. So this here is my little room. You see, in the chest bed, and I've got my own little network. Also, each room has its own power, as you can see. If you go into this room here, there's unoccupied. You see, you've got your power here. And you also have your own little shared network, just in case you need anything. Now ahead of us, as you can see, we have a little balcony. It's mainly just to enjoy the view, and also it is for your elytra to be able to fly around and go from place to place. And last but not least is the roof access. So this here allows you to gain access to your solar panels, as you can see. Okay, so unfortunately that is the end of this video. However, there will be more videos in the future of this data center with its certain little subsections, for example the dissolver network and auto crafting. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and leave a comment down below telling me what you enjoyed about the video, what I could be doing better and what you'd like to see me doing in the future.